I am Victor J. Lagroon, and I'm the Director of the Office of Veterans Affairs for the City of Chicago. I had the opportunity to join the military in 2003. Came into the Army as a military intelligence analyst and had the great opportunity to serve with the 10th Mountain Division. So life evolved and gave me an opportunity, and before you knew it, I saw a space where there was need in the veteran community to really have a conversation around who we are, what we can do, how we can be productive, and not just be productive, but also contribute in a meaningful way. So now that I'm serving in this role for the mayor, it really has allowed me to go out and talk about what Chicago is doing, and what our veteran community is really accomplishing here in Chicago. So we know that the state of Illinois has roughly around 800,000 veterans. And we know that in the Chicagoland area, there are roughly around 300,000 veterans. So there's high density in this area around veterans in the military community. Historically, previous administrations may not have had someone dedicated to that role. I think Mayor Emanuel, having some experience in DC, also understanding the landscape. And as we continue to have military personnel coming back to Chicago, what does that mean, right? And what are we doing as a city? And it is not necessarily about what are we doing as far as direct service, but what are we doing to bring the right partners to the table? We operate knowing that we have good partners. How do we leverage those partnerships to address those needs? So for us in this role, why it's been so important and impactful is that the mayor had the foresight to put something in place and really kind of entrusted in me to run with it. And it's important to look at Chicago in a snapshot and say, this is who we are, but it's also important to understand the national landscape. So where we are as a country addressing the needs of veterans, you know, Chicago is head and shoulders above many cities because of the partnerships we have, and also because of our ability to leverage the weight of this office, right? It's important for City Hall to say, hey, we can't address every need as a city, as a provider, but we can make sure we bring providers to the table to address those needs. We need to be able to say we're culturally relevant in neighborhoods and communities, whether it's Pilsen or Humboldt Park or Chinatown, back of the yards, no matter where we're serving, Bronzeville and so on. So Chicago's a very unique city. When we've made revisions to policy to address veterans around discrimination or housing discrimination, right? Those are things that when we go out and talk to other cities about it, they were like, wow, we didn't know that was an issue. We need to do the same thing. When we talk about our website, we founded a first ever veteran caucus with our city council members. Other cities don't have those. When we have an advisory council on Veterans Affairs that gives advice and lets the administration know these are the needs and these are the cultural trends of the veterans community. Chicago really has been able to lead in a number of ways. Our philanthropic wherewithal. Other cities don't have that, right? So to have the McCormick Foundation telling other foundations what they can also do by example of what Chicago is doing, that's important. That's really vital and it's really impactful. So I'd love to say it's all about one entity in this city, but it isn't. We're a city of many cultures and many communities, but we're also a city of many partners. We're broad shoulders, but we're a lot of broad shoulders. And that's how we get the work done every single day in this city. So I'm excited and I'm proud about being here and about the work we get to do in Chicago. If we could really talk about cities of excellence, right? Bring your partners to the table. Make sure that there is a level playing field between the organization that's doing the work on the ground, the organization that could fund them and partner with them, the funders who have the ability to encourage collaboration, right? Your academic institutions, your philanthropic organizations, bringing in all of your culturally relevant leaders, bringing together your thought leaders, but also incorporating your faith leaders as well. Because at the end of the day, we know that morally we need some grounding and some foundational work as well. And we have the partners and organizations to do that work. So bringing folks together, that's the call to action. It isn't giving veterans an opportunity to stand before you and tell you something great about them. We know our veterans are great. We know we've done great work. But at the end of the day, if they don't have great opportunity to do great work, then what purpose is it, right?